The ultimate business model for passive growth is hosting a free community with valuable content that funnels people into a high-ticket coaching program. I used to spend hours prospecting, but now my clients come to me. This is the exact roadmap for building a free community that people are excited to join, and they see you as the authority that they're primed to buy from. Here are 3 steps to get started today. Step number 1 is begin building your free community. This is a place where you're going to use it to store your lead magnets, share any content that you're already sharing on social media, on YouTube, on your podcast. It's also a place to send anybody who wants to be a part of your world. So you can send people from social media, people who are listening to your podcast, people who are following you on YouTube, or your newsletter subscribers. This is your catch-all. This is your place that you're sending and funneling all of your traffic into. This is the one place everybody's going. This is really ultimately the one thing that you're looking to grow, is your free community. So inside, the easiest thing we can do is start to house your existing lead magnets. And so anytime that you're delivering a lead magnet, say it's on Instagram, you're housing that lead magnet inside of your free community. And so in order for someone to get that lead magnet, they need to be a part of your free community. Once inside, they're able to unlock that lead magnet. So it's the place that you store everything. So what we're doing in your free community initially, when we set it up, our goal is to add value, indoctrinate our members into our unique coaching process, make them solution aware of what you have to offer, build your authority on your topic. And this is a little bonus right here, is when we set up your community initially, what we can do is add membership questions. I like to use these 3. So number 1, we're going to ask them what their goal is. Make it fun. Make it a fun question to answer. So as soon as they click the join now on your free community, have them tell you what their goal is, specific to your offer. The second question is ask them their biggest challenge in reaching that goal. And then thirdly, you're going to ask for their email. Okay, if you're using something like School, we can set up a Zapier integration, so automatically that email is going to your email list and you're growing your list. But it's cool because now you have the opportunity automatically to know what do they want and what are their struggles. So what can we do with that? We can use those challenges to create content inside of our community or further on YouTube or a podcast, further attracting more people who are a fit for our community to our community based on that content. Right? So now, for example, your calls to action on like your YouTube channel are to go to your free community, right? Which I'm going to link mine in the description below. So if you'd like to join and you'd like to see exactly how we're doing this, the best place to see that is by being inside. Okay? So when we're setting up your free community, there's a lot of little nuanced things that we can do that are going to make this more of a lead generation machine for your business. Now, adding membership questions, like I just said, that's one of those ways. Okay? Now, another thing that we're doing is we're making sure in the setup of our free community that we're speaking our ideal client's language. This comes down to your messaging. This is making sure that you're solving one specific problem for a very specific audience. Now, if you've never heard this before, I'm going to say it now, and I promise you let this anchor in. If you are speaking to everyone, you are speaking to no one. I want you to remember the last time that you fully resonated with someone's content that you were watching. Okay. That's probably because they were speaking directly to you and the problem that you have. So we want to make sure that we're honing in on one specific person and we are presenting ourselves as the solution to their problem. Okay, you've probably heard of a generalist doctor versus a specialist. Just to further anchor this point in, if you have a ACL that's just been torn and you need knee surgery, Steve just had this on Wednesday, so it's very top of mind for me. If you just had this happen, what are you going to do? Are you going to go to your general practitioner doctor to get checked out? Maybe initially, but what are you really looking for? You're looking for a referral to a specialist who specializes in knees, specifically torn ACLs, who would be able to fix this. That's what you want. You don't want a generalist who can help with everything. You want someone who can solve your specific problem. And so the messaging and the packaging of your free community is vitally important, because if this is wrong, you're going to be attracting the wrong people into your free community. And if this is a place where you're nurturing leads, like we said, indoctrinating them to your process, and then come step 2, which we're about to get into, which is sending them into your paid offering, then it's just not going to work, because you're going to be attracting the wrong people who aren't a fit for your offer. So the system won't work. So the biggest tip here with step number 1 is making sure that your free community is set up effectively from a messaging standpoint so that you're attracting the right people to you. Now, step number 2, we're going to begin to build in Ascension. Okay, now this is something that I feel I'm a specialist in, because when we look at your free community as a funnel to your paid offers, the funnel has to have these mechanisms that are working to sell your paid offer for you. Why is that awesome? Because then if you take sales calls, people have already, they know your offer, they even sometimes know your price, they a lot of times are like, you know what, I've got my credit card in hand, I'm ready to buy. I just have a specific question regarding my scenario and if this would fit my scenario, because maybe you didn't cover it in your video. Okay, so they come more primed to buy because of these Ascension pieces that you have in place. Now, sometimes people will buy while you sleep. Sometimes they'll buy while you're hiking, right? And that's really cool. The fact, it's really funny actually, just an example, like a live example. This morning, I have a welcome sequence that triggers and an onboarding sequence that triggers when I have a new client sign up. And I realized this morning that triggered. So I had a new client sign up while I was sleeping. And what's really cool is they booked in a call with my team, a sales call. And it was cool because they're already a client. Now they booked in a call with my team to potentially upgrade to one of our higher level offers. But it's cool because now we're having that conversation with somebody who's already a client of ours. You guys understand? It's no longer just somebody who's on the fence of working with us. They're like, no, I'm fully committed. I know that I want to work with you. I just signed up. Now I need to make sure that this offers a fit versus the other one that you have that's maybe more higher level. Okay, so it's really freaking awesome. So here are the Ascension pieces that we have in place, a couple of them that I think are essential when you're first getting started. So number one is to host masterclasses, or let's just say community events. This could look like a Q&A session. It could even be something like a coffee chat. Just getting to know your members and having them communicate with each other and realize they're not alone in this. There's so much value in community. My favorite though are hosting masterclasses. And the way that I tend to do this is show them this strategy of how our funnel system works as a whole. So I kind of zoom them out and give them a bird's eye view of the systems that we have in place. And a lot of times what that leads to is, hey, I want you to build this out for me. I'm like, okay, great. I'll drop you a link, book a call. Or, hey, here's a link to just join. If they're like, hey, how do I just join? I want to sign up right now. I just drop them a link in the chat and they just join. Or they're now indoctrinated into our process and now they're solution aware. And now it's just maybe a longer process where they need to be further nurtured or maybe have some more questions answered. And so this is one of those touch points where they get direct access to you. And so hosting events or hosting masterclasses is wildly effective for putting you in front of your ideal clients and selling more one-to-many if you do end up selling. A lot of these though, they're value-based. You may or may not sell. To be honest, I don't really pitch in them. I like to wait for my members to actually ask about our paid offerings. And that usually happens naturally in the Q&A section when I've just laid out exactly what we teach our paid clients. A lot of times they're like, okay, well, how do I just join so that I can get this? It's just kind of like a natural next step. So if you can do the masterclass correctly, where you're aware of the level of which your free clients are at in their journey, you'll realize that you're not teaching them the same things that you're teaching your paid clients, because a lot of times they're just not there yet. A lot of times they still have questions on like the actual strategy of what you help your paid clients implement. So a lot of times in our free community, it's helping them with more questions, answers, high level strategy in their mindset. Okay, so that's the first thing, is just hosting those live masterclass calls. The second thing that we do is we host onboarding calls. And the reason that I love these so much is because I used to spend, oh my gosh, 3 to 5 hours, if not more, on Instagram every single day, just in the DMs trying to actively book calls. And the reason these onboarding calls are so effective is when somebody first joins our community, there's multiple places where they're reminded to book in these onboarding calls. Now, these are 15 to 30 minute calls where we're just helping someone get to know our community. We're seeing where they're at, what challenges they're having, what they're looking for, and we can guide them to the best resources. Now, sometimes people come in and they're already solution aware and they're like, hey, how do I sign up to your paid program? I wanted to just speak with you first and just make sure that I'm in the right place. We've actually sold on that call before, quite a few times actually, to people who are a good fit, but really it's there to add value and to nurture. But the fact that these calls are booking in on autopilot every single day, and not only did I hustle on Instagram for 3 to 5 hours a day before, I've also run over $25,000 worth of ads to book calls on my schedule. So now to have calls booking in this frequently, which is usually 3 to 5 per day on average is what we're getting organically through our school free community, is we don't do anything for those calls. It's just happening on autopilot automatically without us even thinking about it. Okay, so it's pretty badass. So we're hosting those onboarding calls. So the third thing that we're doing is we have a free 5-video VSL. A VSL is a video sales letter. So really what this is doing is it's overcoming their objections, addressing their limiting beliefs, answering their questions, and sharing with them exactly the process that we take our clients through. It's basically revealing our roadmap of what we've done to get the specific result that they're looking to achieve. So if you think of kind of like a webinar, it's kind of like a webinar, but it's structured as a course. So there's a lot more value, there's a lot more information. We have more time to kind of space out helping them get their desired result. Now, the wild part is just by going through this course alone, I've had people who've gotten a lot more clarity. They know exactly what they need to do, and they feel more confident in their direction. So even if they don't move forward as a client, they have a lot more conviction in what it is that they're going to do moving forward. Okay, so this does a lot of wonderful things. Now, at the end of that course, in the 5th video, you can either sell your program or you can pitch booking a call with you. Now, we've had a lot of people come through and book calls, and they're really primed to buy and to move forward because they know exactly what it is that they're getting into. They're excited. They just might have a couple questions that weren't addressed in the video series that are more specific to them that they just want answered, and then they're ready to move forward. So that 5-video series is awesome. And the other cool thing about it is it acts as a lead magnet for your free community. So if you were back at number 1 and you're like, hey, I don't have a lead magnet, well, your community is a lead magnet. The community itself is a lead magnet. The calls are a lead magnet, right? If you've ever hosted any type of call and you've made a LinkedIn event or a Facebook event about that call, you do the same thing. It's just the call is hosted in your free community. You see? Your free community is where it's like the glue that holds everything together. It's like no matter which social media platform that you're promoting on, no matter which long-form content strategy you're using, all drains lead back to your free community where everything is housed and you're doing everything inside of that free community. You understand? It's wildly important to leverage this, okay? Now, inside your free community, you're also sharing content. This could be the same content you're already sharing on social media, on your YouTube channel, on your podcast. Or it could just be posts that you're creating for your free community members. A lot of these come from their pain points and their challenges. Remember when I said you're asking them membership questions when they first join? Right. We can create and pull content based on their goals and based on their challenges and their problems. So all of the content that you need are actually coming from members as soon as they sign up. So that's where you're getting all of your ideas for content. That can also help you with your long form content outside of your school community to further bring more of those similar people back into your realm. Lastly, it's building community. So your people are joining because they might not have community anywhere else. And so if you make this a place that they want to come back, they've got friends here, they feel like they're a part of something. They've made genuine relationships, even though they're halfway across the world, they're gonna wanna keep coming back. Not just for you, but for each other. And when they do that, you're further positioned as the authority. You're also creating the most epic space. And then guess what that does? They want to be a part of your more exclusive paid communities because they see what you're doing in free and they want to be a part of that more exclusive community. That's a more higher level group of entrepreneurs doing what they're doing at a higher level. It just all works together. The system just cranks. It's insane. So step number 3 is scale. So once you've set up your community correctly, once you've built Ascension into your paid offerings, which I have plenty of videos on my channel of how to exactly create a premium coaching program, so check those out. But step 3 is starting to scale. So once you have those pieces in place, your job is to drive traffic to your system. You already have those Ascension pieces in place. So now it's shifting gears and it's how can we get more eyeballs in this? How can we get more people joining it? Because if you can just get more people in it, then your system's gonna pump for you. You understand? So you know where you're showing up every week in your system because it's already predetermined for you based on those Ascension pieces. But you're showing up in your zone of genius, coaching and creating content, while then your content is going to attract more people into your system, which then is working for you, right? Nurturing your clients, giving them touch points, indoctrinating them into your process, guiding them towards your paid offerings if they're a good fit for those. Or hey, some people might just remain engaged community members, and that's fine. That's wonderful. But you are going to have a few that want to join your next level. They're like, hey, I'm right here. I want your help. How do I move forward? And your free community is going to make it wildly clear how someone moves forward to your paid offering. It's even going to outline what your paid offering actually is so that it's very clear. It's very simple. hey, go here, click this button, and then you're in. You're making it simple. You're removing any resistance to the sale. You're not being this sleazy car salesman trying to snag a deal right now. I've been in that industry. I know how terrible it can be. No, you're making this value-driven, heart-led, impact-focused, where now the more you can just talk about it and share it with the world, the more it's going to grow. So if you're interested in seeing exactly how we've built out not only our free community, but the Ascension pieces inside, click the link directly below this video to access magnetic memberships. We have a top 1% community on School, and we're happy to welcome you inside and share with you step by step exactly how we're building this out. We're using School for every aspect of our free community because it holds all of the most valuable assets that are needed in order to do this effectively and leverage School as a funnel for our free community into our high ticket paid program. So click that link below, and I'm so excited and honored to welcome you inside as our newest community member. I'll see you there.